Hi, I'm Arif Fahruddin, and welcome to Asian Agribiz Podcast, bringing you interviews and update from the animal protein community throughout Asia, from a trusted and dedicated provider of news, information, and market intelligence. In this series, Payungsak Wiryabundit is speaking with Tanawat Damnerntong about burger and food trends in Thailand. Mr. Tanawat is General Manager of Burger King Thailand.
Hi, Tanawat. For many people, the burger has become one of the symbols of fast convenient food. But in Thailand, we see more burger restaurants offering burgers with well-thought, premium ingredients, with more variety in the topping. At the same time, in other segment, we also see more affordable burger options from burger chains as well. So, Tanawat, could you tell me about burger consumption trends in Thailand and what has changed?
Well, we see Burger King in Thailand having an immense opportunity for growth and for expansion. As you mentioned, there is a growing trend of consumption of burgers. And I think as more and more as we grow the brand, I think there's a lot of opportunities where there's a lot of people who still aren't, who aren't eating burgers on a regular day-to-day basis. And we see immense opportunity to grow that behavior and that consumption. Now, I think what the audience is interested in is how is that consumption behavior changed over time, right? And I think the obvious answer to that is during COVID, we've seen more delivery taking shape and growing as a emerging channel, right? But more to that is the concept of digital sales channels, and people were seeking more and more convenience. It's not just delivery, right? But making our brand accessible in multiple touch points with the consumers, and most of these are the digital touch points. So we're investing and growing in this channel, the digital touch point, not just delivery, but growing our kiosk counters, on vouchers on the e-commerce platforms, right? Making yourself accessible there because customers are there. Developing our own apps and having specific promotions for those, and also our apps and websites. So these are just some of the examples that where the customers are. We have to be there, and it's not like in the past, right? When you think back, 4 to 5 years back, when you build a physical store and you expect customers to walk in, that's no longer the case. We have to be accessible and be where the customers are. So we're reaching out to them in these digital touch points.
In Thailand, which type of burger do consumers prefer? I mean, is beef, chicken, or pork burgers?
Well, for Burger King, beef is always going to be the heart of the brand, right? Our unique selling point, our concept is flame grilling. That's where we're differentiated from most of the competitors. So beef, where we're really renowned for that, we have, the Whopper is our signature product. That's always going to be the primary product. But we also have the Angus burgers, all of which are imported from Australia, right? But we do see other categories growing as well, because we recognize that Thais primarily, the primary proteins that Thai consumers consume are chicken and pork. So we have growth levers in these burgers as well. So our other protein platforms, chicken and pork, are also huge successes in our stores.
Earlier, you mentioned about making brand accessible by having digital channels and delivery services. But in general, I just want to ask this. What are the main factors that influence the purchase decision of burger?
Oh, well, there's a variety of factors in making purchasing decisions, right? I can name so many types of things. So we talk about having offerings, different offerings, right? Because not everyone eats beef. We have to be honest with ourselves and be truthful that there are religious factors coming in that some people don't eat beef. A number of my team members, in fact, don't eat beef, right? So we have to be aware of that and cognizant of that. So having different type of offerings is really something critical that we identify. So having a variety of not just beef but chicken and pork, plant-based, right? And other consideration sets is also different need states. So as an operator that operates 24 hours, right now we have 30 or so stores that operate 24 hours. So customers have different need states at each time, right? So for breakfast, it's something convenient and accessible. For lunch and dinner, it's something you have time to sit down and enjoy a meal, right? But also in the afternoon, you might need to have some snacks, right? And also being open late at night, right? When you have a craving late in the night after you get off work, while you're playing games, while you're watching sports, right? So being open 24 hours is also a distinguishing point for us as well. And another factor we can highlight is also different price points, right? Because we have our premium burgers, but we also must have affordable options as well. So we have a wide being products and price points at different spectrums. So we're aware that it's not one singular factor that drives the purchase behavior, but we have a gamut of several factors that drive consumer behavior. So we have to make ourselves accessible again, and and be aware of these things.
I just wonder, now we are in the era of high food inflation, and that might affect consumer spending. So does it affect the premium burger segment in these economic challenges?
I think so. There are. I think we do see a little bit, but in the most premium range, maybe the effect is not so much. We're still seeing growth in all categories, actually, especially this year. So we're not facing a significant downturn. So yes, even though inflation is an issue, but at the end of the day, customers still want to eat, and as long as we provide a fantastic product with fantastic experience for the customers, right? I think people will still come in and come into our doors, whether at our stores or through delivery. So, I mean, we're still seeing fantastic growth on our end with that, especially as the economy, recovers from the pandemic of the past 2 years, right? But so there is, I would say it's a minor issue, but it's not it's not as drastic as say 2 years back when COVID, we were hit with COVID.
In Thailand, Burger King offers not just burgers, but other menus, including rice with meat and fried chicken. So is this the way you try to localize and respond to the local market?
Certainly, definitely, 1000%. We realized that in order to grow the brand, right, we need to be, relevant to them, right? We can't make and force everyone to eat burgers, right? At the end of the day, some people still prefer having rice as their comfort food. So that's why, back in 2018, we grew this category to selling rice as well. And gradually, rice expanded into congee and porridge, right, for breakfast, because that's something that's accessible, most commonly consumed. And then, the big change for us, the big product category that we launched was also in 2020, was also when we launched fried chicken category. There's only very few countries in Asia Pacific where there's a fried chicken offering in Burger King. But we do realize that Thai customers, are more familiar with chicken. It's the most consumed protein. So that's why we entered this new category, in order to grow the brand. And you're right, that is going to continue to be the way forward. We have to localize the flavors, the taste profiles, have a good understanding of what customers like and don't like. And, we have to make our counterparts, our franchisor, the Burger King team from Restaurant Brands International, we always share our learnings of what we believe in, what we believe the customers, prefer. And we have a great partnership with them as well. And they, by all accounts, they fully cooperate with us, and we also have a great working relationship with them, and they've been supporting us to grow to the business and localize in this direction.
Let's talk about fried chicken, Kun Tanawat. In Thailand, there is intense competition in this product category. So how do you differentiate your products from competitors?
Well, yes, you're right that there's several players offering fried chicken. And, we do notice, though, that chicken category on a consumption basis, that is still growing. People are still eating chicken, right? Where Thailand is known for that. We're one of the largest exporters of poultry products. So in terms of getting into the category, for us, it was a no-brainer because people are still eating it no matter what. Now, when we entered, when we had our launch, we do realize that we needed to have a differentiated product, something that will resonate with the Thai customers. So when we first launched, we offered the spicy Korean sauce because we saw that that there was an emerging trend, right? Maybe customers are grown, accustomed to the Western type of fried chicken. Right? So we also wanted to have something different, and we from the very get-go, we saw that Korean cuisine was emerging trend. So that was the hero product for us, the spicy Korean sauce. But we also do recognize that having spicy is not something for everyone, especially for kids. So we had we recognize that we still need to offer the original, the non-spicy variant. But as we anticipated, the spicy version, would sell a lot more, and that's what happened. And we continue to develop and grow the platform, right? So last month, we launched the Tom Yum spicy chicken, with bone-in chicken product, and that's had a very fantastic reception from our customers because it is something that is unique, right? Not a lot of players can claim that they have a Tom Yum flavored chicken, and and next year we're gonna have more and more chicken products that is going to be coming out, and we're very excited with what's about to come in the coming years, and we're going to continue to invest and grow this category.
For international brands like Burger King, what is the key thing you have to do to make localized flavor and products successful?
The way I approach it is not just particular to fried chicken, but to all products in general, in burgers and in rice. We have to observe and understand the consumer insights and thoughts, right? The taste profiles of what they like and dislike. A lot of that is through our extensive experience being in the food business, and also leveraging the other brands within the conglomerate that we're in. So we have our sister brands like the Pizza Company and Bonchon Fried Chicken. We share a lot of learnings from the other brands and listen in what works, what doesn't work. That's our way to also understand, the consumer insights, right? We whenever we visit the stores, we have these daily interactions with our customers. We listen to their feedbacks, both the positive and negative. And it's a continuous process of listening and gathering information from the customers. It sounds really cliche, but it is what we must do, right? So that's how we approach it with everything, with the from the sauces we launch in our burgers to the flavors we offer in our fried chicken. And so it's a dynamic process as well, because consumers change. But like I mentioned on the Korean trend, right? If you look around, almost every category, almost every player has some sort of Korean offering. One of the big hot pot chains in Thailand, they recently launched a Korean style hot pot last month. So everyone's coming on board with that, right? And luckily we were able to jump ahead, 2 years prior at the launch of our fried chicken product. So I think that's how we'll continue to approach it with all product launches in the future.
Let's move to another category, which is plant-based burger. Burger King launched the product last year. So how do you see market demand for this type of products?
No, okay. Just to clarify, we launched it 2 years ago, in March 2020. I remember this date because it was a very exciting product launch as well. So we have the plant-based Whopper. That was our first launch, right? To coincide with the global initiatives of Burger King around the world of launching this new product category. And then later on, sometime later, towards the end of 2020, we decided to launch a smaller patty size. So it was changed to the Whopper, plant-based Whopper Junior. With the reason being is, so that we can make the product even more accessible to consumers, to generate more trials with the Thai consumers. Now, when we at the start of the launch, we were one of the very first quick service restaurants to launch this category, and we were well aware of the need to educate the consumers on what plant-based really is. And I think that's still going to continue to be the action that we need to do, because plant-based as a category is still very, very new to the Thai consumers, right? Sometime later after we launched, the big food manufacturers, from the CP to the Betagro of the world, they launched their off-the-shelf products as well, and they've helped educate the consumers on this end as well. CP hired a very famous product endorser, to be the face of their plant-based product. So I mean, I think that it's a great way that everyone in the food industry is trying to educate the customers with this new category. But it's still going to take some time. I think it's still very new compared to the European markets, where the concept of being vegan and being plant-based is more common and more frequent. But for Thais, as I mentioned, we still like our chicken and our pork. So we still need to continue to educate the customers. And as a brand, we're going to continue to invest in the plant-based products. Next year, we're going to have some new products coming out as well, to generate more excitement, stimulate more trials, and eventually, grow and be the top of mind leader in this category for the QSR industry.
So you don't think that this type of product will cannibalize your existing portfolios, and you see plant-based protein as a long-term trend, right?
When we launched this, it's coming back to what the consumers want, right? So the thinking behind the plant-based product was that there's a larger group of customers who we call flexitarians, who on some days want to have meat. They want to enjoy, beef and chicken, right? But on some days they want to feel less guilty about it, so they might consume plant-based. So again, it's back to the need state of what the consumers want. Right now, I wouldn't say it's cannibalizing. I think we're bringing in new groups of customers, because we do have a dedicated group of customers who come in and say, hey, what non-beef items do you have? Do you have vegetarian options? We see a large group of customers who come in asking and making these specific requests, right? So right now, it's not the majority. Let's be honest. It's not the majority. As I mentioned, most of our customers still come to Burger King to enjoy our delicious beef burgers. But we want to be ahead of the trend, and that this is certainly a new product category that is going to gain excitement from the consumers over time.
Thank you so much, Kun Tanawat, for sharing your insight with us. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to another Asian Agribiz podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the show on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you get your podcasts.